Oil prices have fallen this morning after Israel's attack on Iran over the weekend. Israel avoided oil and nuclear facilities while hitting two secretive military bases. Iran's supreme leader has stopped short of calling for immediate retaliation. These satellite images on your screen, they show a base near Tehran that has been linked to a past nuclear weapons program, as well as a base believed to be tied to Iran's ballistic missile program. The UN Security Council is meeting today about the attack. Let's bring in NewsNation senior national security contributor, retired Lieutenant General Richard Newton. Good morning to you, sir. This marks Israel's largest attack against Iran, targeting only military buildings. And Prime Minister Netanyahu saying the attack was, quote, precise and powerful, achieving all of its objectives. Just how big of a blow was this for Iran?
Well, good morning, Markie. It was a significant demonstration of Israeli air power and capability that they attacked in three waves. Principally, first went after air defense systems, first in Syria and Iraq, which paved its way into Iran, took out a number of air defense systems in Iran, including the vaunted Russian S-300 air defense systems that Iran has. And then it went after a number of other targets, principally focused on Iranian missile production facilities and capabilities for both ballistic missiles and cruise missiles, and also, as I understand, went after some drone production facilities. And as we see here, this is a military target. It also went after about 25 miles southeast of Tehran, which is a military base that reportedly houses parts of Iranian, some of their earlier nuclear production, but they did not target the nuclear production facilities nor the oil infrastructure for Iran. But again, a good night for Israel, and certainly significant damage against a lot of military targets in Iran.
Yeah, so how do you think Iran is going to respond? Because it seems like that won't be a matter of if, but when.
Well, the mission here was to reestablish deterrence against Iran, and that was the goal. I believe that was attained by Israel. Iran is still doing some of the battle damage assessment. I don't anticipate an immediate response by Iran in terms of an attack, but there will be lots of rhetoric, lots of bluster that will come out of the Iranian leadership, the move specifically for not only domestic audiences, but also for its proxies and perhaps for other nations in the region. But I believe right now, Israel has effectively reestablished deterrence by essentially taking out almost the entire air defense system of Iran, which is significant, which leaves Iran vulnerable to future attacks. We'll see, but I anticipate them to continue to be deterred in certainly, hopefully, the coming weeks and perhaps months.
Yeah, a significant weekend for sure. I know that Israel's attacks, it sparked more ceasefire talks in Egypt. This time, the Egyptian president proposing a 2-day ceasefire in Gaza with a 4-hostage prisoner exchange. How confident are you that leaders will be able to get the deal done?
Well, there have been ceasefire talks at lower levels. However, Secretary Blinken was in the region last week and so forth. Those will continue to ensue. Markie, one of the major challenges here is after two of the Hamas leaders back in July 31st and most recently when Sinwar was taken down by Israel. There has yet to be a defined leader to come take a lead of Hamas. And so still to be determined who to deal with, from a ceasefire negotiation standpoint. But these ceasefire talks will continue. Remind our viewers, there are still around 100 hostages still under siege from Hamas. My sources tell me there's probably less than 60 who remain alive. Some of those are Americans. That's still key to the negotiations moving forward, but they will continue. But I don't see any sense of perhaps breakout because of the Iranian strike by Israel at this point, but they will still continue on.
And Lieutenant General, just one more quick question. You and I were just on together last week talking about that leaked plan, Israel's plan to attack that was leaked by a U.S. official. Was this that same plan that was leaked just last week?
I believe it's closely associated with that leak. I can't verify the specifics of the leak itself and what that plan was. But as you and I discussed, though, it was very disheartening to see that leak and reportedly come from U.S. sources. And the FBI, along with Secretary of Defense Austin, I'm sure we'll get to the root of that leak and so forth, But I think what you're going to see now is Israel and the United States, our relationships will move forward and so forth. But there was some close association of the nature of the air campaign that emanated from those leaked documents and what we saw on Friday night and early Saturday morning.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.